Welcome to Community Connections. This is our new season, and joining me today is Dr. Greg Savel. I'm Lori Matway, Associate Superintendent from Student and Community Services. And today's segment, we're going to talk a little bit about vaping and, of course, the importance of immunizations, because we're getting ready to go back into the school year. It's hard to believe.
It is hard to
Barely
believe.
starting the summer, but getting ready for that. But let's go back a little bit. We've had conversation before about vaping. And for some reason, I have seen it just explode on our campuses. We have students in high school that are literally vaping right in front of faculty members, staff members. And so, one, what should parents look for? What kind of signs should they look for in their children that they might be vaping?
Well, I really appreciate being here, always to talk to you and to the students, and hopefully to make a difference in the community. The numbers are astronomical. Every day, a higher percentage of kids, even in middle school, are beginning to vape because it's so easy to do so when no one is looking. And it doesn't seem to make any difference about what we tell people. And we know the reason is because most of the big vaping companies have been bought by big tobacco. And so there's so many advertising dollars being poured into this that once again, vaping is cool the way cigarette smoking was cool back in the 1950s. So I know the parents are on edge about this issue. But the parents have to look for unusual odors or behaviors in their kids. You know, we'll talk in a little bit about all the terrible things that go on with brain growth and development from these inhaled products. But the kids are going to act in a different way, or they're going to be sneaking around, or they're going to just smell different. Some of the kids, of course, are using vaping pens or Juul cigarettes because of the smells or the tastes.
Right. And
so the parents will notice that, the activity, the behavior, they're wanting to spend more time alone. But also, how about a conversation? You don't really have to notice something, but how about a State of the Union? I always say every day parents and kids should be together at dinner talking about the things that kids find important about the parents,
right,
and the parents find important about the kids. And if you can establish that relationship when kids are young, it can make a huge difference in this war against vaping.
Absolutely. I've seen something for the first time I've never seen before called vape wear, that they can actually have a string of their hoodie that they put in their mouth for the vaping pen, and then the other one goes down so the vapors actually go into the garment, so nobody even knows they're vaping. So, you know, where would somebody, I don't know if I would say where would they look for this kind of product to make sure that their child's not purchasing? When I Google searched it, they could get it right on Amazon. So I don't know that families are really aware that it exists.
I think most parents are not aware, which is what the great idea with the PTA and the parents coming in. And you know, parents are working, they're trying to put food on the table. And I know that school board and wonderful schools in our community want to bring parents in to have these conversations. And it should be on the docket for discussion every single month. But it probably is impossible for parents to know where their kids get things or whether or not they can modify their own sweatshirt to become a vaping hoodie. Which is why it's so important that this video we're making today will be shown in the classrooms, because I used to think that by speaking to the superintendent and getting together and banning things in the school was going to make a difference. And it's important because it makes a statement, but the truth is if we can't get to the kids to make them realize what a terrible mistake they're making by starting this particular habit, then I don't know what hope we have for decreasing the percentage of kids who are starting every day, because everyone wants to be cool. And when big tobacco gets involved and makes it seem cool, we're not fighting a losing battle, but we are swimming upstream for sure.
So let's talk a little bit about the danger of, I mean, we have photos that we're going to show that literally the device is blowing up in the mouth of an individual, burning the face, loss of teeth. You know, how would you explain, one, the danger and how likely that is to happen to someone that might be smoking either vaping or e-cigarette?
Well, the danger, of course, and we'll talk about with some of the questions from the students, is in the compounds, most of which we don't even know. You know, we knew what tobacco was doing. It took us decades to teach people, though the incidence of smoking amongst today's youth is only slightly decreased, and of course vaping is on an astronomical rise. But because of these unknown chemicals, we know that the dangers to the growing brain and to the health, lung-wise, the students is worse. But these do have rechargeable batteries, and most of them are being made very cheaply overseas, and people take a look at scooters that explode or cell phones that explode when cheaper, non-regulated batteries are involved. But yet these devices have batteries that vaporize this poison fluid. And there are a number of them that have been blowing up as astronomical as well, because they're stored in people's cars where it's hot because they don't want the parents to see. They're put in a refrigerator, other places where people can't notice them, and that constant change of temperature of the batteries is what makes them more likely to explode as well. But I think when we show pictures and videos, we're not doing it for sensationalism, but maybe if we can show kids what happens. You know, we showed pictures to children who are driving age about what it looks like when you text and drive when you're lying in the street outside your car no longer breathing. Perhaps some sensationalistic graphic videos and images are what are needed. And that's something else that the parents can bring to the dinner table every night to talk to their kids about the dangers. So perhaps the ones on the fence about whether they should start or not will make the right decision.
Thank you. So when we come back, we're going to take those questions from students from Gibbs High School.